Pokemon Champions could be probably the best online Nintendo game next to Mario Kart World. But let's look at the video, okay? And then we'll talk more about it. There's more details to read down below. It's coming soon. They didn't say exactly when it's coming, but it's coming soon. But anyway, let's watch the video and then we'll talk more about it after the video. I'll give you my thoughts after the video and then we'll read more about the details down below. Okay, so this is on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. So this means if you want to play this game, you have to have Nintendo Switch Online account and you have to have either Nintendo Switch OLED original or Nintendo Switch 2. So let's watch the trailer, shall we? Excuse me.
Pokemon battles for everyone! Pokemon Champions!
He will explain everything here on this video.
This game is all about battles. Compete online against players from across the world with the Pokemon you've recruited. There are two ways to obtain battle-ready Pokemon. The first is by connecting to the Pokemon Home app. Transfer your Pokemon from games in the Pokemon RPG series and the Pokemon Go app to Pokemon Home. Then link the app to this game. The second way is via Recruit. Choose one Pokemon to recruit once per day from a random selection of Pokemon that appear in the game.
This is probably what I will do.
Recruited Pokemon can only be used in Pokemon Champions for a certain amount of time. After you've gathered your Pokemon, choose 6 of them and form your team. Before battle, you'll be able to see your opponent's team and vice versa, and choose the Pokemon you want to use for the impending match.
So wait a minute, so there's two ways you can recruit your Pokemon. One is just one is through the app. You have to download the app, the Pokemon Home app, and then through the previous games like Pokemon ZA. Well, I guess I got Pokemon ZA Legends. I can recruit my Pokemon ZA Legends Pokemon from the previous Pokemon games, right? Well, I have Legends, right? So it should work. Pokemon ZA Legends, I can just transfer. So that's how it works, basically. You can transfer Pokemon through your previous Pokemon games through this home app of Pokemon Go, and then you can transfer your Pokemons, which I think I have few Pokemons on Pokemon ZA Legends, so I guess I could bring some of my Pokemon Legends ZA to Pokemon Champions here. And then the other one is a recruit, but then they're only temporarily, they don't last for a long time. So you'll constantly will have to do that. You'll have to recruit new Pokemons. But that's okay. That's not a big problem, you know. Recruit the new Pokemons every single time. That's cool. Anyway, I just kind of want to clarify that, you know.
Consider which Pokemon your opponent will use. Then select your own Pokemon to start the battle. Players alternate turns with moves. Win by reducing the HP of all your opponent's Pokemon to 0. If you're in a bind, you can swap one Pokemon for another. or use Mega Evolution to power up your Pokemon. The decisions you make could influence the tide of battle. With Mega Evolution, certain Pokemon will gain abilities brand new to the series. There are also different battle formats. Use one Pokemon at a time in single battles, or have Pokemon fight 2-on-2 in double battles. There are 3 different online battle modes. In ranked battles, test your skills against evenly matched trainers and aim for the highest rank. In casual battles, wins and losses aren't recorded, so you can enjoy matches however you'd like. And in private battles, create a room and battle against anyone with the room ID. There are also in-game online competitions in which you'll battle with preset rules that change every season. Engage in battles to earn victory points or VP. Here's how to use VP.
So these are like a virtual points to it's like to upgrade your Pokemon. So they have a lot of choices here, man. Let's kind of go back through some of them. Let me see. There's ranked battles, casual battles, private battles, online competitions. So this is pretty cool. Private battles is where you can create your own room ID and you can invite your friends to join you or anyone with access to your room ID. So you can have just private battles with people whom you know. You can do casual battles. You can do ranked battles, which is probably the hardest. And then there's the online competitions. And then they're talking about the virtual points that you use, that you can use those virtual points to upgrade your Pokemon. Yeah, this is great, man. This is like Call of Pokemon, like it's like Call of Duty, but Call of Pokemon. Certainly reminds me of Pokemon Stadium. The only difference is this is now Pokemon Stadium Online. Like you are like, it's like the ultimate Pokemon Stadium, if you will. I was never a Pokemon fan, but ever since I've got Nintendo Switch 2 and Pokemon ZA Legends, I understood like how important Pokemon is to Nintendo and why it's such a huge phenomenon. You understand it when you start playing it, like you understand like the addiction. It's more like addiction. I can see why people are addicted with Pokemon. And here to show you can use.
In casual battles, wins and losses aren't recorded, so you can enjoy matches however you'd like. And in private battles, create a room and battle against anyone with the room ID.
This is probably the best is the private
There are
room.
also in-game online competitions in which you'll battle with preset rules that change every season.
Victory points. Okay.
Engage in battles to earn victory points or VP. Here's how to use VP. You can swap the moves a Pokemon can learn, change its nature, modify its abilities, and more. The stat points of a Pokemon can also be adjusted.
They have a lot of options. This is pretty amazing. Like I'm looking at this right now, and this is probably the ultimate Pokemon Stadium ever. I know it's a Pokemon Champions, but the amount of abilities that they're giving you here, it's really great. The way you can use your victory points and the way you can adjust those victory points to your Pokemon, and you can adjust the abilities of your Pokemon with these victory points. It's pretty cool actually. I like any game that gives you the choices of accessibility, where you can adjust pretty much anything you want to adjust. So this is pretty pretty good actually. And for those of you who are Pokemon fans, I think you are going to really love this.
For example, you could increase attack and speed to boost offense. Or raise HP and defense to withstand attacks.
My only worry here is the servers. I just hope that the servers don't crash. I can only imagine how many people are going to be. Dude, you guys don't understand how huge Pokemon is. It's huge. It's a juggernaut, man. The amount of people, we're talking like millions of people, are want to join in to play from Southeast Asia, Japan, Europe, North America. Dude, like, you will have so many people trying to jump in on this to play this. This is going to be like ridiculous. So hopefully the servers will be working properly. So we'll see.
Pokemon can be easily trained to your liking, so try out different ways to battle. You can only recruit once per day, but by using VP, you can recruit multiple times. Keep in mind that recruited Pokemon are only available for 1 week, but with VP, any recruited Pokemon will be permanently added.
Now we're talking. So with the virtual points, you can recruit Pokemon for good. That's great. So this how you start. First, you start with recruitments, because you start with nothing, and you recruit temporarily these Pokemons that are gonna last you for, I don't know, for 1 week, right? So for 1 week, that gives you plenty of time. 7 days, 1 week gives you plenty of time to go online, to battle it out and earn these virtual points. And after 7 days, you'll have so many victory points. You'll have so many victory points after 7 days, after 1 week, that you'll pretty much will be able to recruit any Pokemon you want and keep it permanently. So this is great. This is what I wanted to hear.
In the shop, spend VP to purchase held items, or Mega Stones for your Pokemon. You can also get clothing and looks for your trainer, different Pokeball throwing styles,
Nice.
and battle music. A world of fierce battles with your Pokemon awaits.
But let's be honest, a lot of people will pay to win. A lot of people will not even bother with victory points. They're just going to go ahead and purchase, online. They're going to go online and purchase, those victory points, and then buy whatever they need to buy. Yeah, there's going to be people doing that, of course. It is what it is. It's it's one of the natures of online multiplayer these days, where people will do that, pay to win. They have money, and they're gonna spend hundreds of dollars. They don't care, and they're gonna get everything, and they're going to unlock everything, and then you'll have to deal with them online on the ranked matches. But I like the fact that they're at least giving some of us who don't have the money the ability to, recruit these Pokemons for about 7 days, and then within 7 days, earn the victory points and use those victory points to get more Pokemons and have them permanently, and you know, work from there, work your way up from there. But yeah, there's going to be people who are going to, pay to win. That's just the way it is these days with every multiplayer game.
Pokemon Champions.
So the good news is this. The reason I'm smiling is because it's free. It's coming out on April 8th, and it's free. This is only on Nintendo, of course. Nintendo Switch, and it's compatible with Nintendo Switch 2. So, of course, any Nintendo Switch game, it's also compatible with Nintendo Switch 2. It's backward compatible with Nintendo Switch 2. So that's why when you have a Nintendo Switch 2, you're pretty much all set. But if you don't have Nintendo Switch 2 and you still have your old Nintendo Switch or your Nintendo Switch OLED, you can still, of course, use it. So this is great. Look, this is exactly my point that I was making about Marathon and Arc Raiders. This is why these games should be free to play. I mean, if Pokemon Champions is free to play, why isn't Marathon free to play? Why isn't Arc Raiders free to play? So this is why I'm against any game that is charging you money to access an online multiplayer. Any game that it's a online only should be free. Why? Because you got paywall behind it. You have optional in-game purchases behind it. You know what I mean? That's why it should be free. I talked about the Concord. I said Concord should have been free. If Concord was free to play, I guarantee you Concord would still be around. So now you understand my whole point about when I criticize Marathon, Bungie's Marathon, and Arc Raiders, and even Helldivers 2. These are online-only games. Any online-only game should be free to play. You shouldn't have to pay an additional access money to access the game. It should be free to play. Even Virtua Fighter 5 should be free to play. Now, I was thinking about this. Why you have to pay $20? But that's Sega, Sega, it is what it is. But even Virtua Fighter 5 should be free to play, honestly. And then if you want to buy those costumes and other stuff, that's an additional, money you want to spend. Go ahead and do it. But this is exactly why I've been saying to all of you guys, these types of games should be free to play. And I'm glad that Nintendo has realized that. They're like, and it's hard to believe that Nintendo actually has. This is Pokemon. We're not talking like, some, low budget game or some game, some franchise you never heard about. We're talking Pokemon, dude. And the fact that the Pokemon, it's free to play and it's on Nintendo, it's almost like shocking and it's hard to believe. But it's good that Nintendo has realized this, that, hey, dude, we shouldn't be charging people access for something that requires them to be on our servers, that requires for them to subscribe to our Nintendo Switch Online subscription. They understood that. So not only do you need a Nintendo Switch Online subscription, so why should we charge you for access to something that you already need a Nintendo Switch Online subscription, and it's a online only? We shouldn't charge you for the access, to have access of this game. Now, if you want to purchase some additional stuff, pay to win and all that, there's a paywall behind it. You can do so. So Good for Nintendo, but it's also shocking that Nintendo actually is that it decided that they decided to go down this route. I think this will be very successful. One of the main reasons why it's going to be very successful and so many people will be playing it, it's because it's free to play. This again goes back to the point that I was making. Everybody, got mad at me when I was criticizing Arc Raiders, when I was criticizing Marathon. But this is my point. This is exactly my point, and it's good to see that Nintendo is doing this, because that's how it should be, free to play, So I'm looking forward to this. This is great. It's coming out April 8th. Nice. The fact that, when you purchase a Nintendo Switch 2, that you can actually have a game like this. And we're talking about Pokemon. We're not talking about like some game that's like you never heard about or whatever. This is a huge franchise, and it's free to play. So it's good to see that. I look, Virtua Fighter 5 should be free to play. Seriously, Sega, why are you charging people $20? Virtua Fighter 5 should be free to play. Because you already got a paywall behind it, so why isn't it free to play? These companies need to understand, man. Any online game that's required for you to be online only should be. But to be fair, Virtua Fighter 5, it's not just online only. But let's be honest, majority of people will be playing a Virtua Fighter 5 online. But you can play Virtua Fighter 5 without the online. There's a single player arcade mode. There's the training mode, and then there's the world. What was that? World stage mode, which I've been playing. So I think I get it. I understand. But still, it's an old game. It should be, in my opinion, free to play. So yeah, I'm excited for this. This is pretty cool. It's coming out pretty soon, actually, April 8th. So we're talking. Let me see. The Saturday it's April 4th. Sunday is the 5th. Monday is the 6th. Tuesday is the 7th. Next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after this Wednesday. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Absolutely, this is great. Yeah, I'm excited, and I just felt I needed to share this with you because I'm quite frankly shocked, because I never expected Nintendo to do something like this, especially for a Pokemon, dude. Let alone that it's Nintendo, but Pokemon as well. And quite frankly, Kirby Air Riders, even Mario Tennis should have been free to play. A lot of these games, they can be free to play. Mario Tennis could be free to play. Mario Kart World could be free to play. Kirby Air Riders easily could have been free to play. They can just add a paywall behind it. There's so much Nintendo can do with the free to play here, man. Well, we'll see what happens. With the success of Pokemon, who knows, man? Maybe even Mario Kart. Maybe even Mario Kart and Mario Tennis. Who knows, man? They might have a Mario Tennis online, like Mario Tennis Champions or something. There you go, Mario Tennis Champions online only. But there you go, Mario Tennis Champions. All right, well, look, this is great. Like I said, I'm a little bit shocked and surprised that Nintendo is doing this, especially with a Pokemon. Pokemon, it's a behemoth, bro. It's huge, and then they're doing this. So I'm very excited, and I will be live streaming this. I will be making videos about this, my first impressions. So you will see me on April 8th, next Wednesday. Not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after this Wednesday, next Wednesday. I can't wait to play this, man. It's going to be great. Anyway, I know the video is 25 minutes, but we have to watch the video. Plus, I have to give you my thoughts and opinions on it. So I hope this video was informative. You know, I think this is great. This is good for Nintendo. It's great for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, really. It adds to even more value. So, and this again gives you the value of Nintendo console. You can only play Pokemon Champions on Nintendo console. You can't play it on the PC. You can't play it on the Xbox. You can't play it on the PlayStation 5. You can only play it on Nintendo Switch OLED or Nintendo Switch 2. Or the original Nintendo Switch. But I think majority of people have Nintendo Switch OLED. So you can either play it on the original Nintendo Switch OLED, or Nintendo Switch 2, meaning you have to have a Nintendo console. So that right there adds to the value of Nintendo Switch 2 console. You know, I don't think I have to sell you on a Nintendo Switch 2 console. I think Nintendo is already successful. They already like 20 million units, so they already have a success. So I just, do I really even have to advertise, hey, go buy a Nintendo Switch 2? I think Nintendo sells itself. This is exactly why they're such a successful company, and they've been riding this success for 40 plus years. They are as old as I am, dude. 47 years of success, bro. Literally 47 years of success, and you can see why. So this is great. This is awesome. I'm excited, and this is great. A little bit shocked that Nintendo is doing this, because Nintendo is very greedy. If you look at like Mario Kart World, and if you look at like their Mario Tennis, and I'm surprised that they're doing this free to play. And this is Pokemon, dude. We're talking Pokemon, brother, sister. We're talking Pokemon. So it's a little bit shocking, as I'm sure it'll be shocking to a lot of you Nintendo fans. Like, wow, Nintendo is kind of loosening up a little bit, huh? But this also proves my point. I don't want this video to be too long, but this also proves my point why I criticize Marathon, Bungie's Marathon, and the Arc Raiders. This is exactly my point why these types of online-only games needs to be free to play. It's 2026, for crying out loud. Why is Bungie charging people $40 access to Marathon? And why is Arc Raiders charging money for $40 to access that game? And even Helldivers too, for that matter. And it's one of the reasons why Concord failed, because they're charging you to have an access for something that should be free to play. And on top of that, Sony lost $400 million. So maybe Nintendo will kind of like maybe Nintendo will set an example to like Bungie and the developers of Arc Raiders and developers of Helldivers. Hey guys, this is how you make these games. If they are online only, they should be free to play. I'm so glad that this has happened, so I can kind of like make my point here, make my case. This is exactly my case and my point. And guess who's doing it? You never saw this coming, that Nintendo is doing it, and with a huge franchise, very successful franchise, behemoth of a franchise, Pokemon. Okay, so there you go. All right, well, like I said, I didn't want this video to be this long, but there's so much I needed to say. Plus, we have to watch the video, learn more about it, and of course, I need to make my points, on why I believe these types of games should be free to play. Okay, so sorry that the video's 30 minutes, but there's so much I needed to say. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative, and I'll see you guys on April 8th. Okay? I'll see you at the Pokemon Stadium. Pokemon champions. I'll see you there. That was corny, right? I know. But it was kind of cool. Kind of funny. In a corny way. I'll see you there, April 8th, Pokemon Champions.